like it's been years since I last saw you guys. Also, I think I found a way to like fix my model starting dechu, but I haven't done it yet. I feel like the issue is that my main C drive, for some reason, it might be a little borked. So I have warranty here. I just need some time to be able to like bring it to a PC shop, get it replaced and all that stuff. But a temporary solution right now is that my VTube Studio, it's actually installed in the C drive D2. So maybe if I put it on the D drive, it's not going to stutter too much. But right now it's not stuttering right now, so it should be loading D2. But yeah, today we are going to be reading Phenomenal. Even though I messed up the stream title, I said hanging out with Sho and Mimi-chama. But actually, I did hang out with Mimi-chama yesterday in real life. She went to my place, yeah. So that's cool, D2! Actually, I forgot to take a proper picture. Wait, no. We did have a proper picture. I can't show it though. No lane. No docs. D2! Yeah, we're golden right now. I'm hoping that my hard drive just miraculously fixes on its own because I don't want to get this replaced because it's such a pain to go to a mall. Me too. And then bring your warranty, bring the hard drive, ask them to replace it, and then put it back into the PC. Ah. Wait. What do you mean? Why Beatrice-chama? Why did you set the stream at morning your time instead of the evening like last time? Oh, I have a pretty good reason for that actually. So tomorrow I'm actually gonna go back to my family's place because my family wants to see me again, just temporarily. And then the day after I'm gonna come back here day 2. But that's on, so I'm gonna come back to my place on Friday the 30th. So, since my hometown is pretty far, it'll take me until noontime to get to my place, and I don't stream at... afternoon. It'll take me afternoon to get to my place on the 30th. And I don't actually stream on the afternoons. And I also have a collab scheduled at nighttime there, so it works better for me if I just stream Phenomenal right now, especially since I wanna continue the visual novel ASAP. Me too! So there you go. Have fun. Oh boy, I can't wait for my dad to yap my ear out again and scold me about, oh, you're living alone, you're gonna die, you're gonna die in the city, you're gonna die. So annoying. I honestly don't want to go home tomorrow, but whatever. Yeah. Oh, you finally finished the fan art you were working on? Let me check. Ooh, cute. Wait, there's actually new fan art. That's actually surprising. I barely get those, so I don't check my art tag anymore. Oh, thank you so much for the fan art, D2! Makes me very happy to see people draw me, because I'm so hard to draw. But hopefully I get an outfit soon that makes it easy in D2. Thank you so much. It looks very cute. I retweeted it right now. I'm glad you like it. Oh, thank you. And now I'm wondering if I should, like, every time I go live, should I temporarily change my Twitter nickname to have live on it? Like, Circle Live, Circle Beatrice Buford, Oceanmarks Astraline. Yeah, I will already. I'll miss this one. What do you mean you'll miss it? By the way, do you guys have my Oshi mark on your Twitter names. I noticed, I think there's like 2 people or 3 people with my Oshi mark on their names on Twitter. So I wanted to ask if you guys have it. Should we have it? You don't? Are you not proud that I'm your Oshi? Miss, I'm sorry for turning you into an Anomalocaris. Wait, why? How did you turn me into an Anomalocaris? I can't be with Chama. I fight with strangers online. It's okay, and I don't care. I should put one. Yeah, you should. It makes me really happy when I see my Oshi mark. Me too. I also forgot what my Oshi mark is because I don't see it that much. Makes me sad. You guys make me sad. Oh wait, sorry, I was browsing Twitter. Oh yeah, have you guys applied for the Big Brother application yet? Are you guilt tripping us? Emotional manipulation and such because it's working. However you want to call it, I don't really know. I am fan of that moment when you showed me that video. Well, don't ask you why. Wait, what? Really? Why is it not in my art hashtag? I forgot what an Oshi mark even was, so I didn't put any. Okay, an Oshi mark is what you see on my name. This one. And you use it to show people that you like me. It's not gaslighting, just love. Yeah, I'm very hungry for love and attention. Twitter has been broken for the weekend, no one. Yeah, I don't know. I hate using X. It's called X now. Twitter back then was a little bit better. Whenever I crash off Twitter, I always call it X, not Twitter. Because I feel like Twitter got worse when it became X. Military Rose and gold something thing. It's called a fleur de lis. And I didn't know it was called that. I always called it the royalty symbol until I searched it up and it was like fleur de lis and it's French, and then because of that people thought it was French dechu. I will continue the dead name Twitter because of Elon doesn't deserve recognition. Good. I agree. I always call it Twitter, but whenever I complain about Twitter, I always call it X. Like, oh my god, X is so buggy. I hate X. I hate X so much. But they are French. Baguette. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it's morally right to call it Twitter unless you're like trash talking it too. X sounds like a corn site. It also looks like a corn site, like the app icon looks like a porn site. I mean, honestly, Twitter is pretty much a porn site. If you want it to be, it is a porn site. Okay? I've seen people's feeds, man. They're insane. It's like 50% corn. The French lesson when? I can teach you how to make French fries. Or chips, depending on what part of the world you're from. What else do people use Twitter for? Actually, you know what? Whenever I try to look for reference for my art, SFW by the way. Because if it was NSFW, I'd check another website. But if it's SFW, I go to this website called SafeBoru. And my friends always make fun of me for it. Oh, why are you going to SafeBoru, you baby? You baby, you don't like seeing porn. You don't like seeing porn, you baby. I don't like getting blasted with porn when I'm trying to draw something innocent, okay? They do. They understand. Okay? I'm sorry I don't have gray matter in my brain, okay? I'm going to need to put those in the bag soon. Please teach me, Empress. Oh no! Just put the fries in the bag, little bro. Sayagoro is really good for getting reference material. Yeah, people are like, Sapporo is not actually that safe because there's ecchi. I don't care, man. I just don't want to see porn ads when I'm trying to look for reference, okay? It's not even the porn drawings that throw me off. It's the ads, okay? Why do I want to see 3D women showing off their ass and tits bare naked and getting pounded on my ads? Well, I'm trying to look for like cute girl smiling, rating safe. Isn't Pinterest filled with AI? I don't use Pinterest, so I don't know. You won't last 5 minutes! Pussy in my bio, they too. Honestly, that is the worst thing. 3D women ads. Honestly, I would be more disgusted if it was 3D men. Like, you know, like in some porn sites they have like men's dicks as the ad, and then it would be like their schlong, and then like get some penis enlargement pills now. And then it would show like their dong just like being edited badly to be longer. They too. That's disgusting. I hate it. Hello, Vito. How are you doing today? Always a pleasure to see you. Hello, day 2. Today I'm talking about Borus. Latest, why are you so well versed in corn ads? Because I was chronically online ever since I was the age of 7, okay? Alright? I saw my first doujin when I was 10 or 9, was it? It was like Sukumi Manor or something. Download more Pinner link. I used to use Arcade for reference because of the tag block you can do, but ever since the AI rise is now filled with... Wait, what? R34 is filled with AI now? They don't care about that stuff? How did you know this? I already answered that. Look, man, I'm a VTuber. Why should I be ashamed that I'm chronically online? It's been a long time since I used it, where I used to check back in for reference materials. Real artists as opposed to AI. Why would they use AI for reference anyway? Do you want 6 fingers in your drawing? I'm not sure because I haven't browsed the borders that much, but isn't there like an AI generated tag now? They too. And then you could probably like blocklist it from the thingy. AI and furry corn naman. This is why I don't look at Rule 34. Didn't you draw furry corn back then? Unofficially, Tama. I think I vividly remember that. It was like 2 of them, to be exact. Hi, Menace. Hi. Hello. Hey, else is calling out. Yeah, I am. Let me hypocrite, you too. I draw a lot of NSFW. Oh yeah, dude. I used to draw a lot of NSFW and Etsy, but I've been so busy I don't do it much anymore. My favorite kind of Etsy is when it involves 2 girls. AI is becoming too uncanny and it scares me. We were warned about the uncanny valley long ago. I don't know much about the uncanny valley thing. Can you explain it to me too? My CS codes are hard. They are hard. But you know what I hate when it comes to NSFW? I hate it when it has... Which is like always the case, by the way. When it needs interaction, like you need to think the composition and the anatomy for the girl and the guy to connect, if you know what I mean. And it's even worse when there's so many of them, you know? Because not only is anatomy hard, but you have to draw a lot of it, right? You have to draw multiple characters, you have to make them connect to each other. You need to make the composition good. I have a lot of respect for doujin artists, okay? They might be like ultra gooners, But damn, the dedication they have is insane. Especially when they do backgrounds, those are insane. Normal and baby Tama 80. I'll allow it. My main one scrolling picture for refs and suddenly grower obesity fetish. Just turn off R18G in your blacklist. Like turn it on in your blacklist. Like, oh, I don't want to see R18G. Okay, that's how it works, too. Yeah, there's a blacklist on Pixel. I think you can. It's up to 2 or 1, was it? But you can turn off R18G. I think by default it should be off. So if you see it, that means you turn it off. That means you turn it on. Like you can. It's by default you're not supposed to see Guru. I understand you. When it looks like the guy and the girl were 2 separate drawings that they kind of mixed together. Oh yeah, no, I mean yeah, that's also one thing, but I'm talking about like the physical interactions in general. It's really hard to do, especially if there's like size difference. That's insane. Okay, then like if for example, if you're gonna draw a guy doing missionary and a small girl, right? Big guy doing missionary and a small girl. The guy's torso is going to cover her entire body. Okay, you won't even be able to see the girl realistically. Question, what you got planned for me? Today we are going to be reading Paranormal Site, but since it's been a while, we're talking about random things right now. That's when you make the guy transparent. Yeah, I mean like, yeah, that's sometimes the case, right? But you can't always do it, right? You can't always do that. Yeah, it's your mandatory yap session. Everybody wants to see the girl. Dude, okay, you know someone that makes really good guys and girls indulgence? Asanagi. Okay, I'm always going to glaze the hell out of Asanagi, okay? I love Asanagi's work so much. Ever since forever. I think I first found him through Girls Through the Scope or something? I forgot. Right, it's the one with the 3 girls. And then there was the Kag Dojin too. Full of Kaglios, I think. And then Harapan Demonium. Why am I talking about this? No, okay, anyway, what I was saying is that dude, he is a goat because he can draw men, he can draw women, right? All ages. And he can like draw really good art, like SFW. It doesn't have to be NSFW. I have seen his FSFW art, they're so good. He can draw backgrounds, like what the hell, art god, art god. I've come to realize that really anything can be able to like to speak. If it's something I don't know, I learn about it immediately and I'm never disappointed. Why does it feel like you guys are learning something new about me and you're great? Okay, speaking about Kameoshi, there's also like, I think his name is Taipatena. Taipatena stuff is good too. I never said I was a wholesome streamer. When did I ever say that, Day2? Your delusions, Byakuchama! Asanagi locks in when it's DBS and Jap girls. Dude, when he breaks off the horn, I pretty like that. I pretty much like that. The horn breaking is so nice. Okay. Bare hand is also good. Taipatena is good. I think I discovered Taipatena from the Tsugu one. Okay. Worldview shadow. What do you mean when Joseph is not wholesome? It tricks you into thinking she's wholesome. I don't even have to say I'm wholesome. You guys just have this image where I am. He breaks off the horn and then he snorts it like that. Dude, I was not gonna say. Dude, okay, now even just his art. It's even the lines. The one from the Kag Dojin where he was like, ah, she died while coming. And I was like, what the fuck? Wait, you guys that trick? Well, if you thought I was innocent, I'm really sorry. I never said I was innocent, did too. I read visual novels. You really thought I was innocent? I had rants on my husband, the tier list. He thought I was innocent. Hamha! Who gaslit you? I never gaslit anyone. I never did because Griffith was in your faves in the debut. Okay, honestly, I like Griffith when he was gay with guts and he didn't do the eclipse. I think he was a pretty cool character. And then he just seemed like a tantrumy baby to me after the eclipse, you know? Literally, you're young on the tier list. Yeah, I like Naval Rhythm too. What are your favorite tags? If I speak, Twitch will ban me. I love Caglioso. Did you see her new form? She got turned into Haglioso. Like, wait, the fan arts are true? What the hell? I thought people were like doing that thing where they put massive boobs on like characters that shouldn't have boobs. What the hell? That sucks. It's like Wu Zetian from FGO. They made her a hag too. For her summer outfit. By the way, Beatrice, did you ever look up those retro games? Xenogears? No, I haven't. Because I've been brainrotting on this game. It's called Fantasy Life and just came out. Xenogears. I'm still trying to remember which Xeno was the one with the... Xenosaga. Xenosaga is the one I want to play, D2. I don't give a shit how good their artists. Artists that put huge boobs on a flat-chested characters are disrespecting the original design. Yeah, like, I understand if it's like the fleshy small boobs. Like, that's okay. I feel like that's just like the artist's art style at that point. If they give like flat characters like fleshy small boobs, right? But if they give them giant boobs, you're just disrespecting the original design. And I'm someone that advocates for original designs all the time. I'm someone that's like very purist about that, right? If I'm reading a visual novel that whose eros scenes disgust the hell out of me, like Gore's Screaming Show, for example, because I read Gore's Screaming Show, I know that a lot of the scenes are gonna be disgusting for me, right? Even for my standards, are gross. I think it was the blonde girl's route. I did not put the SFW patch. I still read the uncensored version. I just, you know, simply skipped that part because I didn't wanna see the CG. I didn't want to see the text. It was disgusting. But yeah. Like, I understand if it's them when they are older. Yeah, I feel like when artists make, oh, this is an older design. This is my older headcanon for this character. That honestly for me it's okay. And vice versa. They're okay for me. They're okay for me. But if it's like, oh, I drew shoot and doji and she has like massive badonkers, that's not shoot and doji, okay? I don't mind it a lot, but I do hate it when they do that and say they're fixing that. Oh, I literally ignore their existence when they do that. Okay? You know, I'm not a fan of like changing character designs and then claiming it as the character. I'm not a fan of it, but at least I can scroll past it, okay? I'm not like, oh, I hate this so much, I'm going to attack you. Like, I can scroll past things I don't really like. But when it comes to like, oh, I fix this art, I think I just press the mute button on that account immediately. Alright, the Discord server. Yeah, the Discord server is now here, D2. Come join right now. Come join. I actually don't know how to operate the Discord server, but it's It's gonna be a casual thing. Oh, Beto, what about when a girl gets clothes changed and suddenly booba? How? Where did they come from? Okay, one example I could think of for this is probably Oi from Blue Archive, right? People are like, oh no, she actually has big boobs. It was actually hiding underneath the sweater. No, that's not how it works, okay? She looks flat with the sweater. And people with big boobs, when they're wearing a sweater, they don't look flat. I mean. They don't look flat when they're wearing a sweater. Sure, you don't see like the shape of the boobs that much, but you can see that they have boobs. For Oi, you did. This feels like a try. I mean, you don't have to go, but I plan on doing magma sessions and guard phone sessions and scribble.io sessions there. So it's your loss if you don't join, and you don't really have to join. I'm just gonna do some activities there and watch alongs and stuff. She's not that big. Yeah, but people draw her as like big boobs now. But it's freaking tall, man. Oh, also the Hex Maniac. I like the Hex Maniac, but I hate how they give her big boobs, okay? I feel like people don't complain about Hex Maniac a lot. Like, the fan arts of Hex Maniac a lot. Me too. But I like spooky girls, you know? Spooky core girls. And I like it when they're like really loser to the point that they look like a loser, right? And they don't do that, they just make her busty. Yeah, and now nobody can unsee Hex Maniac as like this booby mommy. And then they lose their shit when they see the original sprite and she doesn't actually have boobs. She's flat as hell. I don't know. Different strokes for different folks. Personally, for me, I don't like it. But if people like it, I won't like castrate them or anything. Dechu. Seiyoko, お化けに呪われちゃった。Let me see. I got cursed by an immoral. Ew, he told me. I'm gonna get fucking adware now. Wait. Oh my god, it's by Dancho! No. I haven't read this yet, but one of my favorite Dancho doujins is the one with like the girl with glasses. And she has short hair, right? God, I love Dancho's art so much. And where is it? And she had like a chain on her neck. Ah! Oh, why did I scream? Why did I scream when I saw prawns? What's this one? Jubako Kanojo 2. Finding Girlfriend 2. This Sibari. I like that one. Oh, it's ongoing. Oh, here. This is what she looks like. I like this kind of girl so much. I love these kinds of girls. These kinds of girls. Cute. Moe. It's Moe. I love Victim Girls art style. Maybe not some of their art. Actually, they're called Asanagi. This peak. It's so cute. I love Dancho's art so much. You're into depressed girls. I'm into depressed girl failures. Take that as you will. I just think they're super mobe and hot. Pine says, sex with mentally ill girls feel better. The character is very similar but prettier. I don't know, I like the purple one more. The one I showed. I'm having Metamorphosis flashback. I feel like when I read Metamorphosis, I just read it for the story. I don't know. I guess it's just that Shindle's art doesn't really like turn any switches for me. It's not that, oh my god, this is so dark, I can't read this. It's more of like, yeah. I prefer Katawa Shoujo sad girls. They at least get good ending. Yeah, they're cute. My favorite Katawa Shoujo girl is Rin. I need to play that game again. Not that bring up really mentioned Dojin, but it was read Tokyo Akazukin, guessing the diamonds in the rough. That was an ultimate gooner when I turned 18, okay? When I turned 18, that was when my hormones spiked up. I'm kind of a bit of a gooner right now. But back then it was really bad, okay? It was really, really bad back then. Oh, you like Wagashi? A lot of people like Wagashi. Everybody likes Wagashi too. Have you read the one ZUP Dojin? Yuki Yukite! No, it's Yuki Yukite you're talking about based on the emotes you're using too. Oh yeah, the Dojins I read are pretty but like when it comes to romance in anime and manga, I always prefer it to just be lighthearted rom-com. Right? I hate it when there's like drama porn in romance anime manga. Rom-com. I'm currently addicted to Yandere Miss. What's Yandere Miss? Is it really romance without misunderstanding? Look, man, the real world is full of misunderstandings. At least let me be delusional in my romance manga, okay? Yandere male leads? I don't know. They're okay, I guess. Yandere male leads. I don't have a lot of Yandere male favorites too. Some days I want a heartwarming love story of pure romance. Some days I want to see betrayal and death. Some days I want to look at cute naked anime girls. Some days all of them at the same time. And their millions only go south when they get abusive. You know some girls are into that, come on. Right? Simple Gear. Is that the one with the mecha girls? And there's like some singing, I think? No, I haven't yet. They recommend it. I don't really watch mecha girls that much, they too. I wonder who one of those girls could be. I don't know. I don't really like it when they're yandere and abusive, okay? It's just that yandere men, they're not really my type when it comes to fictional stuff. So, I tend to not read them. So, I don't know. Was that 5 sneezes? Am I going to die soon, D2? Thank you, thank you. Bless you to Yorokobe. Bless you, bless you. Thank you. Our Camille is such a one day I wanna have a dying stream, right? It's not gonna be a graduation stream, but like ASMR. Your little sister is in the hospital and she's dying slowly, and you're next to her, and she tries to make fun of you one last time. Once I actually started reading Yandere stuff, there's no going back. So it's a rabbit. No, I actually did try reading Yandere stuff. I was just like, oh, this guy is so annoying. Like, this guy's And some more Oshi's dying, please stop beatboxing. Oh my god, yeah, and then I'll play like beatboxing in the distance, like muffled beatbox. I'm like, Ethan, please, I'm dying. Stop beatboxing, please. And some more you have a date with your Oshi, but a meteorite hits the earth and you die. Oh wait, 4 sneezes curses you. Yeah, because 4 is death. Oh god, like one of those curse ASMR, like ASMR boyfriend calls you cute but dies from meteor. Wait, you call that curse? I think that's pretty tame. Compared to like some that I've seen posted. We were like ASMR, your boyfriend vomits during dinner time and then shits his pants. I'm like, what the hell? That's disgusting, even as a joke. What about RPG ASMR? Are you talking about the gun or are you talking about role-playing games? ASMR boyfriend calls you cute, but his sister is a meteor and won't let you be together. I'm the meteor, by the way. ASMR, you have a date, but your boyfriend gets hit by a girl. Wait. No. Did you guys know that video? The one where it's like ASMR, your Yandere boyfriend, something. It was a pretty normal title. But it was like sped up. It was like a video clip of it sped up, and then it sounded like, yeah, you like that bitch. You're like, ah, and then like the SFX sounded like he was stabbing someone to death, and then he starts trauma dumping at the end. It was like ASMR Yandere boyfriend to make you feel good or something. Wait. Let me try looking for it. Make you feel good. Ew! Why am I searching these? Oh yeah, rough ASMR making you feel good, I think. Rough ASMR making you feel good. I'm trying to look for it. Oh yeah, there we go! I need to show you guys this. It's so funny, dechu. Watch this. What? That's so stupid. Okay, wait. Here. And no capture. Opera. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm gonna play it.
Yes, come. Come on! Man! Do this! Please, just give me something in my life. Please, just... I'm depressed. I have anxiety. Please, just want something to go right in my life.
Please, I'm depressed. This is so messed up, man. Wait, I'm sorry. I think that's called post-climax depression. Oh my god, yes! If you overlay that sound over an invincible fight scene, no one would be able to tell. It sounds like Omni-Man too. It sounds like Omni-Man. Please keep playing, I prefer the cute girls. You bitch! And ASMR already beat you to death. I remember I watched it where it sounded like Dear Pony instead. What the hell? What? I just imagine, think, baby, think, ew! You know, the funny thing is, it kind of fits because you know how some parents call their children baby? Wait, I missed it. Can you replay it? What do you think, chat? Should I replay it? Dechu? I don't watch this stuff. Ayo, Jesus. But it's Yandra ASMR making you feel good. Natsumi Momo's ASMR. I don't really watch ASMR, listen to ASMR, no. I don't really do those. We play Momoka. How about we replay both of them at the same time? Hers might be up here. Ali, not anymore. No, actually, I think I did listen to ASMR at one point. It was Punching Bag. I forgot her name. Punching Bag. What? Akira Mazono. I think I listened to her ASMRs. I'm not really into this type. I read the other male is in manga mama. I see. That's why Sultan cannot see me. She stream for content. Wait, my YouTube feed is actually pretty normal. Besides that, because I had to search that myself. Radish ASMR. Is it ASMR of a radish? Oh wait, no, it's an actual. Jealous bully breaks down in the rain, and it's AI art. What? And then there's already like expose videos. I'm not gonna delve into that rabbit hole. Yeah. I didn't Not so more intense ASMR tingle. She beats you up. That's funny. I like that. Is it like bait and switch? Are you sure? I still can't get my head out of that video of the baby cat trendy. Baby kittens are so adorable. I've been binge watching baby kitten videos, like the really baby kitten ones, like the ones where their eyes are already a little bit open, just freshly open, and they're like waddling like caterpillars. It's so cute. She's a little binge switch ASMR, like the positive affirmations aren't very positive. I like that. I like that a lot, too. There's also beating you with a frying pan ASMR. I like that. They look very sleepy. Yeah, and they're like, they look they're about to like drool anytime, and it's really cute. They too. See, like ASMR. Maybe ASMR is actually right up my alley. Oh yeah, the crying pan one is so good. What the hell is that? Crying pan. You've been just looking at the rounds. What the heck? Why did YouTube give me these boring ASMRs? I want one where I come home to an abusive alcoholic husband and he beats me up with a belt and leaves me to bleed. Where are those, huh? It is somewhere Beatrice euthanizes you. I've seen that one. Wait, I just made that up. I just made it up. What are you talking about? Look at it, Randus ASMR. Look for I know this sounds fishy. Your best friend discovers your depression and skip to 9:42. I will not do that. If we're good enough, can we get a GFE stream? I don't know. I'm not really good at that kind of stuff. I don't know how to be like, yeah, boyfriend Kun, you're so cool. I think I'm gonna sound like I'm just making fun of you instead. It's a bit of it every chariot disappears. Yeah, I actually lobotomized them. Yeah, just ASMR racy waterboard too. It's legal. Yeah, if I ever do a GFE stream, it's gonna be a competition of who cringes first, okay? PV, you're a vehicle trapped in the joint while Beato... You're a vehicle trapped in the joint while Beato abuses your brother's live ASMR. What the heck? Why is that so oddly specific? It's real, guys. Trust me. Look, if you're a cute girl, you can do anything, okay? Because the mods experience it. Wait, really? I didn't know you guys consider each other brothers. ASMR, the BL defend the castle from 6-foot tall, muscular men in armor, gruesome, gun violent, Windows 11. Dude, my just ask him to go Windows 11. I'm scared you too. Mommy's brothers meet like same thing. Did you remind me of this VTuber I used to watch back in 2020 or 2021? Because he said meat bag. Her name is Mazono Akira. And she does these really crazy streams. And she always screams. But the funny part is whenever she screams, she sounds like Toad. She sounds like Toad screaming and it's so funny. Where do you think the vehicle incest fanfic came from? What? I don't even know what the hell that is! Bobi-chama, can you explain? The vehicle AO3 allegations. Vehicle's got a fanfic before VP-san. It's okay. I don't think I want the fanfiction. It's okay. It's okay. I'll pass on that. I would read this fanfic. If it happens, if it's actually true, I'll read it on stream. Damn, I think I gotta go from mid-flight DB. Meet me another time. Wait, where's the fanfic? You're scared of finding good material. I don't want fanfic material of myself, okay? I'm okay with reading fanfic of other things, not myself, dechu. No, don't risk your channel like that. Me when I talk about dojin, bad dojins. Me when I talk about R18G. Oh, it's okay. Me when I read Bayako fanfic on Sim D2. No, Bayako-chan, Yato-chan, don't, please, don't do it. Don't risk your channel, D2. BEATRICE'S, the IRS. What's the IRS? Ship that. How about someone ships me with $1 million? I'll do you one better. $1 billion. BEATRICE'S demonetization. What do you mean? It's already a thing. The bad people who collect taxes. What? But I collect Byakuchama taxes. Is that okay? Am I evil? Yep, taxes. Yeah. You didn't know? Wait. Gee, you are very evil. Oh no! Oh yeah, what took you so long, idiot? You have taxes? Yeah. You have taxes every time you watch me stream. I actually drain $1 from your bank account each time. And if you don't have any bank account, well, Congratulations, you now have negative $1. I love that guy. I found his character in Puss in Boots. So he was such a great villain. I'm not gonna lie. He's actually a really funny, fun villain. I have the intelligence of a hamburger. If you separate your hamburger like that, your spelling of hamburger, I believe it. You too. Maybe the ones paying taxes are the ones where the butcher gets their meat. So juicy too. There's only $2.6 in my bank account right now. Hey, a lot of people could eat well with that. Okay, be thankful, me too. He's the best villain in decades. You're deaf? I don't care. Funny pie guy? Yeah. Hell yeah. If you're a bird like me, no, it tastes like chicken. Yeah, it tastes like chicken and mochi together. La 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 lava. Chicken. Oh, I watched the Minecraft movie, by the way. It was pretty okay. There was a lot of old man Yaoi though. They did like Airborne 69, Jason Momoa and Jack Black. So trigger warning if you're not comfortable with that. Yeah, they were airborne. Hey, I thought you had a flight going on. Where's the fanfic? Day 2. That isn't really a villain. He was just like a gender clingy BF in this one. No, I think he was more like a debt collector. Like a tax collector. What the heck? I'm stupid. Time to invest in vehicle sacrifices for food. Sorry, vehicle Thomas. Times are getting rough in the kingdom. That was horrifying because he embodied the tax collection system and because he turned people into furries. I stuck in the time chamber, stayed 5,000 gems to speed up. Oh, I want to make my own video game one day and then I want to make it really microtransaction centered. Like Raid Shadow Legends. How much to bail for a second vehicle fanfic? 100 subs. 100 subs, I'll let it. 100 subs, I'll write it myself, okay? No chat GPT, just my raw writing skills. Pay me 50 subs to skip the 1 hour yapping session. No shit. Yeah, I will. If you give me 100 subs right now, I will schedule a stream next week. I said 100 by the way. That just surprised me. Thank you. Comments are sana kind for the 10 gift subs day too. You forgot a 0 there though. You forgot a 0. 90 left. Should we make that a sub goal? Alright, let's make that a sub goal then. If I get 100 subs, I will make my own vehicle fanfiction, okay? And I'll make it like you can self-insert, alright? What kind would meatball work? What do you mean? What do you mean by that question? Oh no. Oh no, we're about to get there, chat. Your glasses look great on you. Really? You should keep putting it on me then too. Each sub, 1 sub insert. No, that's too much already, D2. Do you want it to be safe for work or not safe for work? How much do we still need to emote? I think 27 subs. until new emote day 2. Okay, I think I've been napping a lot now, so we'll be reading the Spooky Nitro Plus visual novel that is not porn for once. Vehicles need to cross peaks, of course, and as a W. Okay. Alright. I don't know if I can stream that though. I'm gonna have to ask management if that's all, because I don't know how Twitch works, okay? I don't know how Twitch works. The 1 hour yap quota is filled. Yeah. And so that would be fun. You guys don't even have genitalia. I don't know how to make it work. Okay. Phenomenal. Where is phenomenal? Okay, I found it. Are we ready for cute ghost waifu? Play a 1-minute video of fishing every time there's an NSFW scene in the fanfic. Why fishing? Why fishing specifically, D2? Load latest save. Why did things turn out like this? Alright, they're about to head home to the guy's place, because the guy's place is haunted. And then the girl was like, alright, we'll exercise it together. Let's go to your place, day 2. It was a night with a beautiful moon. I was pedaling hard on the mamacycle. I passed through the residential area to the north of the train station near the family restaurant. And from there, I continued west along the drainage channel. The real horror begins, bringing a girl to my haunted old home. I mean, if you were in his position, wouldn't you be scared? Like, oh my god, what's she gonna think? The drainage channel was called Shimokawa and was one of the tributaries of the Tamagawa waterways. This river gradually curved northeast towards the area it lived. Every time my bike bounced off the bumpy road, Yoishi's body would press against my back. Ooh! I knew it! 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 I could feel the bulge of her small breast through my jersey, and I indulged in misplaced delusions of how we looked like a nice couple. However, clinging to my back was a Denpa girl dressed entirely in black. Her arms wrapped around my waist were oddly cold. Aren't girls supposed to have a higher body temperature? Wait, really? Shouldn't they be like soft, warm, and smell nice? However, I couldn't feel any body heat from Joycey, who was sitting in the back seat of my bicycle. In fact, if it turned out that she was someone only I could see, I wouldn't even be surprised. This isn't NSFW, it was just written by Ninja Plus, okay? That's how far away from a date this nighttime bicycle rendezvous felt like. The residential area became increasingly distant, and fields belonging to landowners began to spread out in their place. Streetlights too diminished in number. It felt like there were more stars in the sky, and the smell of grass became stronger. Very close to my home. Quite rural. Shut it. I replied to Lucy after a considerable period of silence. I didn't mean that in a bad way. I didn't realize Musashino still had places like this. Wait, be right back. I'm gonna go get water real quick. Okay, I'm back. Let's go read. Alright. That's why I figured the rent was so low. I grumbled with a hint of self-derision. What's a derision? Houses became even sparser, and after passing by a few old giants, we entered the area lined up with dense groves of trees. A short distance along this narrow path would lead to my house. To be honest, I didn't want to come at night. I spoke towards my rear. I spoke towards my butt. It's a phenomenon. Oh my god! Title drop! It's a phenomenon that only happens at night, so you must go at night. Lucy readily replied. It's actually a pretty good argument. For a short while, we both remained silent until eventually, Yoshi asked, what was your wish? Huh? After all, you took the trouble of living in the wish-fulfilling house, didn't you? Took the trouble, she says, but the truth was I just had no money for anywhere else. Yeah, we can end the stream now, guys. Bye! Nothing special. I just wish that my family's business would go well. That's all. I answered. Is that a lie? A family man? How surprising. Yoshi commented, devoid of emotion. Surprising is pretty harsh. I started to reply, but then the house beyond the Black Forest came into view. Is that the one? Yeah. Is the audio too low, by the way? Maybe I can put it back. Put it a little bit up. There you go. Looking at it again, I'm amazed I had rented such a place. It looked like a haunted house, no matter how you looked at it. You know what they say about a girl and a guy that go inside the haunted house, what they're gonna do? As soon as I said the motorcycle into the ground floor garage, Yoshi jumped off the rear seat of the bike. Oh wait, I forgot to put the phenomenal tag category. I pressed the switch on the steel column and the garage's ceiling light turned on. Yeah, well, it is haunted, so of course he's gonna compare it to a haunted house this time. That was all it took to significantly reduce my fear. Yoichi began walking about on her own, looking at the building from several angles. A magnificent building, said, as he began walking ahead of me. She went up the stairs to the entrance on the second floor. Not having any other choice, I placed one foot on the stairs, but could go no further. As for Yoshi, she quickly climbed the stairs, and I saw her panties. She casually opened the door and took a glance inside. Ah, right. Now that I think about it, I rushed out without locking the door. That means I left it unlocked for several days. How careless of me. All I could do was look from the bottom of the stairs. It was pretty pathetic of me, but I was the one that experienced the fear. I'd say it's animal instinct to not want to get any closer unless safety is ensured. How is it? Dark? Well, of course it is. And with that, Joyce quickly went inside. I was afraid of being left behind at the bottom of the stairs. Is it really animal instinct? It's animal instinct not to head on... it's animal instinct to, like, not go to danger, I think is what he means. I was afraid of being left behind at the bottom of the stairs, so I rushed after her. When I opened the front door, the lights were already on inside. Royce stood right next to the light switch and glanced around from the ceiling to the walls. Lights really are a great thing. I was calmed just by it being bright, so much so that I didn't know whether those creepy happenings were real or not. When I was about to take off my shoes to the foyer, I saw that Yoshi's knee-high boots had already been neatly taken off and arranged. They might have had a better upbringing than I thought, but then it struck me. Well, considering mammals might be... We are animals, they too. We are. We're animals. We're just the most intelligent one. Question mark. Come to think of it, we hadn't even properly introduced ourselves to each other yet. Hey, I know it's belated, but I turned towards her and said, Happy birthday! I go by Nagi online, but my real name is Nagito Yamada. I'm in my first year of university this spring. I'm an animal. She simply nodded once without turning around and said, I'm Yoishi. Isn't that a handle? Wrong. My surname is Mitsurugi. Not that it matters. Yoishi Mitsurugi. She was a very strange one indeed. What kind of person reveals their real name on the internet and doesn't give a shit about their surname? 5 was on the wall of the toilet? He asked, as I suggested that the conversation we just had was a waste of time. Bitches, hello! So I pointed to the far end of the second floor and said, That way. Yoichi suddenly moved in that direction. Without hesitation, she opened the door, turned on the lights, and peered in. I quietly followed. See? It looks like the number 5, doesn't it? So the scheme or whatever, right? He asked Yoichi from behind. You know of words such as schema? He asked in a condescending manner. Well, I mean, I'm an occult maniac after all. That was a lie. It was a piece of information only just acquired. If you look at a meaningless shape with prior knowledge of a specific set of information, the brain tends to recognize the figure in line with that information. That is a schema in cognitive science. But this is without a doubt a 5. Even I see it that way. Okay, you get it? Do you understand? Do you understand, chat? Imagine being an occult maniac. It's kinda cute. I like it. Honestly, what she just said. Basically, just pattern recognition. Daisy spoke as she traced her fingertips over the engraving, paying no heed to my words. Basically, she's like, oh, this symbol right here, you know what, is as 5. So yeah, of course you perceived it as 5. But you know what? It is without a doubt a 5, so you're right. Well, even if it wasn't a schema, it didn't solve the problem. If anything, it made things worse. If this was truly a deliberately written 5, then someone or something in this house wrote it. That and we followed the cute girl with fancy hair. Here. Which girl? 6 was near the bath? After she finished carefully examining the 5, Yoichi switched on the light in the room with the bath just opposite to the toilet and opened the door. She moved her face right in front of the symbol engraved in the windowsill. As I watched the scene from behind her, I caught the smell of something odd. Truth be told, it's been bothering me. It's been bothering me since I met her. But now that I was in an enclosed space with her, it became clear to me once more she has never taken a bath in her entire life. Are you wearing some sort of perfume? Daisy realized shook her head. Wait, but this smell on you. That's when I realized what that smell was. I smelled it in club rooms during middle school. A somewhat sour, nose-curdling smell as if something was rotting. What the hell? I totally understand this is a rude thing to ask a girl. I asked, pinching my nose. But when did you last take a bath? What the heck? Why haven't sent me this screenshot? Stinky! Yoichi turned around and looked at me quizzically. Then she looked up the ceiling. I had a bad feeling about that gesture, as if she was searching through distant memories. What? It was so far back you have to think about it. I don't quite remember. Maybe... Wife! What the hell? Get in the bath! The bath! But I'm already here! That's not what I meant. Do you not take showers? Wash your hair? What does that have to do with the numbers counting down? Yoshi seemed completely bewildered as she asked me, but come on, I'd heard about the term dirty girl, and I know French royalty were famous for never taking baths. I'm not French, by the way. But this is contemporary Japan. The high school girls that don't take baths for a month exist? What you say lacks reason. He said flatly, and then peered closely at the windowsill once more. No, I'm not French! It is unmistakably a 6. He quickly turned around and asked, how about 7? She really had no interest in anything other than the paranormal. Sighing, I reluctantly guided her. It was on a wall on the staircase landing to the 3rd floor. This is the place where the middle-aged man I didn't know was standing during the Pseudo World Association game Yoshi had made me play earlier. As expected, I didn't feel like following her there, so I just gestured towards it. Yoshi wordlessly climbed the stairs and leaned against that wall as well. That looks like a 7 too, right? However, Yoshi didn't immediately answer. Instead, she took out a mini flashlight from her pocket, pointed at the number 7, and looked all around it. Is there something strange about it? There's certainly a 7, but it's strange. I was about to ask, what's strange? But at that moment... What am I reading? Free soup? She didn't do anything cute like place a hand to her mouth in an effort to hold it back. Rather, standing upright in a daunting pose. She boldly hurled, which definitely made me step back. She was used to vomiting. That's what that posture gave off. I ended up completely seeing it to the end. Dripping vomit, sparkling gastric fluid, and the remnants of the orange juice she was just drinking earlier. The hell is she? She doesn't take baths, boldly vomits out in the open, and to make things worse, she's an occult-loving Denpa girl who wears coats during spring. However, I finally noticed that the Denpa girl did seem to be struggling a bit. Hey, are you alright? I ran up to her and began rubbing her back. She gave a feeble nod and wiped her mouth. There was vomit on the landing, but she resumed conversing as if nothing even happened. Ever since I saw your post, I thought it was strange. Why did the countdown begin from 7? Huh? Countdowns should normally start from 9 or 10. It's a week. It's a week! How should I know? I mean, ghosts are scary because you don't know what they're thinking. How would a human like me know why something like that began counting down from 7? Wrong. The paranormal has no rules, but the other side has a will of its own. Yoshi said as she climbed the stairs. I had no choice but to follow. As if to say, there must be an 8 and a 9 somewhere. Yoshi turned on the lights to the 3rd floor and began sliding up to the walls. Her posture, as she crawled about on all fours, scampering along the walls, was both creepy and comical. Afterwards, Yoshi began mumbling something to herself and didn't respond to anything I said. So I gave up and went back down to the 2nd floor. I poured water from the small sink next to the toilet into a bucket and threw a rag in it. Ew! Even after everything, that was still my house. I couldn't just leave the vomit on the stairs like that. Mm. I was reminded of the blank face of the man Yoichi had shown me in the family restaurant a while ago. I tried hard not to think about it. I cleaned up the vomit. Oh, why does vomit smell so acidic? Someone always entices you to vomit too. Moreover, it was irritating that the person who vomited didn't seem to care at all. As if it was obvious that it would be my job to clean up after her. Babies when they just vomit and not care. Hey, do you not eat? There's only liquid in this. I commented with a bit of a nasty tone. But Yuichi, who'd come back down from the third floor, simply mumbled that there was no 8 or 9 anywhere. The way she said it, as if she was deeply disappointed, kind of ticked me off. It's about it tasted. Ew, that reminds you of like Mysterious Kanojo X or something, where the girl drooled on the table when she was sleeping, and she left, and then the guy tasted her drool. Ew! Yeah. Then I already tell you there weren't any more. She ignored my comment and began looking at the walls on the second floor. Half exasperated. The anime was not that bad. I didn't finish it. I watched over as I went down to the second floor with the ralliant bug. But the girl's really cute. I like the girl. Then I looked at the clock. Hey, called out to her. Are you alright being out this late? Of course, that was pretty belated, given that it was almost late. It was almost 3 o'clock in the morning. If I were her parents, I'd be furious with her being out this late. I hope you called home before coming out at this hour. I mean, I know it's my fault this is happening, but parents always worry. I don't have. Did Mysterious build something anime? Yeah, Mysterious Kanojo X. Back home, I always thought my parents were a pain in the ass, but once you leave, you feel an appreciation for that stuff. Great, great, yeah, great series, odd premise. Yeah, it's very odd. However, she wasn't listening to my passionate sermon. I watched it with a friend, and it filtered them so bad. Instead, I noticed she was completely immobile, staring at a single spot. What is it? I asked, but Yoshi didn't move. He stood still, frozen like a mannequin. I moved behind Yoshi and looked where she was looking. I'm trying to scare you, didn't work. It was a spot where Yoshi had just vomited. The staircase landing where the middle-aged man I didn't know was standing. My imagination. Wait a second. Who are you having a staring match with? When I placed a hand on her shoulder, she twitched as if breaking free from the spell. And then she whispered, ever so softly, I see. She turned around. She seemed to look happy. I could tell by the slight blush creeping into her pale face that she was excited. Thank you for cleaning up my vomit. Hey, you know this? What? But Yuichi didn't respond. Instead, she turned around and headed towards the entrance. Hey! Wait up! Let's leave. She quickly put on her deep black boots, then walked straight out of the entrance. I hurriedly put on my sneakers and chased after her. Trying not to look inside, I shut off the lights, closed the door, and remembered to lock it this time. After that, I stuck close to Yoshi as she staggered down the stairs. We arrived at the motorcycle left inside the garage. Yoshi looked up at the building once more and said, This building is very interesting. What are you talking about? The ghost cleaned up my vomit. Under the stairs to the third floor, there exists a meaningless space. At that moment, goosebumps broke out all over my neck and back at once. I see. The eeriness I'd felt all along about this house. I finally understood it. Indeed, I'd always felt like something was odd about this house. That was the area under the stairs which I could never reach. The area under the stairs that I just couldn't get into, whether from the outside or the inside. I often heard stories about doors that couldn't be opened. And this is similar in that it was a space where we didn't know what was inside. But its existence could be felt somewhere. And look at this. Gracie pointed at the mailbox by the staircase entrance on the ground floor. My full name was written on a piece of paper, the size of a business card, with 3 lines inscribed on it, crushing the name from above. It was unmistakable. Huh? Eh? Wait, what? The number 3. Oh! The countdown continues, little. Mercy placed her face almost right onto the engravings and mumbled happily. This place is the real deal. But I spoke in a hollow voice. I can't take this anymore. And then Joyce took him to her home. 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 I'm a cat now. Oh! Pretty! My brother! He moved away! He moved away! My brand new apartment was fantastic! The floors were nice and clean, the wallpaper was new, the unit bath was sterilized. It wasn't right comparing it to that house, where the remnants of the previous inhabitant drifted everywhere, but I definitely learned that it wasn't right to skimp on housing expenses. This was even further from the university, but at least there were houses nearby. I could walk to a convenience store, and there were plenty of streetlights. Anyway, this apartment, the surroundings were brightly lit, even at night, was introduced to me by Karasu-san. And Phenomena, the visual novel ends that way, okay? If you're being haunted, if you're in a haunted house, you just leave. You move out, okay? That was the moral lesson we learned here, Rachel. It's Nya? Oh, I'm not a cat anymore. But when I heard one of Karasu-san's acquaintances was the landlord, and Karasu-san herself was also renting a room here. It annoyed me a bit that her room was a warehouse, apparently a storage place for strange magical items and costumes, but I couldn't complain. But it's eternity to nya? The rent had rocketed to 50,000 yen nya, but it was a cheap price for a 10 square meter apartment with 1 bedroom and a kitchen, a loft, and a unit bath nya. It had been more than a week since I looked at that paranormal house with Joyce nya. It was a Sunday afternoon, on a rare day, with no part-time work and no lectures, yeah? I opened the window and took in the pleasant breeze as I sprawled out in an empty room. At any rate, the previous week had passed by quickly. First, I cried to my big sister to borrow some money. He cried, yeah. First, I cried to my big sister to borrow some money to move here. Then did so immediately. I didn't want to enter that house ever again. And while it was expensive having to hire movers, it was worth it, you know? Furthermore, oh wait, I don't have the cat ears anymore. Furthermore, this apartment's walls were so thin, they made you almost want to pick up your... Damn it. Furthermore, this apartment's walls were so thin they made you almost want to pick up your neighbor's ringing phones, which made it feel like you were among living people now. You could hear gloomy people in the hallways, and if you opened the window, you could hear the lackadaisical voice of the bamboo pole merchants now. Basically, this place was overflowing with life now. For me, that was extremely important. I've been drained of mental energy to the extremes, and I needed the comfort of living amidst people more than anything else now. I didn't meet Noisy again. That night, I gave her a lift to the family restaurant and parted the ways now. Everything about her was a mystery, other than the fact that she was a high school student, and that her real name was Yoichi Mitsurugi Nyang. I spoke with her for a little bit as I pedaled hard back to the train station as if running away. But in the end, I never found out what was going on with that house niya. Ah! Wait! You guys are being unfair right now. I can only nya so much, you know nya. Didn't try to explain. And I wasn't in any mood to ask nya. However, I had a strange conviction that there's something dangerous there. Put a cooldown on it. Wait! But... It's such a pain date to nya. If this becomes part of my actual vocal stems... vocal tics... Yeah. Just put a cooldown. Cooldown... I can't do that in OBS. I was the one who heard the creepy noises every night. And they even got a countdown, but somehow I made up my mind because of Yoishi's one phrase. This place is the real deal. I immediately thought that this was not a place I could deal with, nya. Oh, great. Now I have, googly eyes. What's a googly eyes one? If you think about it that way, it seems to her that I was able to make the decision to put myself in a peaceful place like this, but it's still what they say. Once on the shore, we pray no more. Now that it was all in the past, I was truthfully somewhat curious. What did she notice? What was the countdown all about? And thus, who was Yoichi anyway? It was hard to explain, but she seemed different from the average occult maniac. She wasn't just getting a thrill by being close to danger, but she was a daredevil who didn't hesitate stepping into areas that a person's instincts would say are danger. In other words, she had a sense of uneasiness about her that couldn't just be explained to someone who wanted to die. What does someone with googly eyes would sound like? I don't know. Whenever she said something, I felt like the world I believed and lived in was about to collapse. Sometimes I would take a peek at Ikai Gabuchi, but Yoichi never appeared in any threads. And of course, no one replied to the thread I started anymore, and it got buried deep to the point where it was hard to find. Krishna-san descended upon various threads, but it never touched on me or Yoishi's case. I was tempted to write that it was real, but I had no means of proving it myself, and I still felt a little uncertain about the whole thing, and at the same time, I buried myself in my normal daily life again. Indeed, the everyday normal continued. Increased rent and utility bills that can't wait. My scholarship alone was insufficient, meaning I had to start working part-time in earnest soon. So I started a part-time job at an Italian restaurant near the station. I also had to pay back the moving funds that I'd borrowed from my big sis, so I started working whenever I had no lectures. Yeah, my urban survival began with a week of exhausting physical exertion and forced workplace miles now, and in an instant, a week had flown by, and it was that sort of day now. My first university lecture in a while had just ended, and I was stuffing my textbooks into my bag when I suddenly realized an unknown girl was staring at me niya. It was Yoichi niya. Oh wait, no! She's cute! She's cute! She was short, yet her breasts were big enough to be noticeable through her clothes niya. She had a bobbed hairstyle, like that of a Zasuke Warashi, a baby face that resembled that of a middle schooler, and her red-framed glasses that really suited her na. What a creep. He's actually kind of creepy, dechu. Who is that? When I stared right back at her, she cleared her throat once and came over to me. Oh, she is pretty cute though. She started taking something out of her pocket, then put it back. I figured it was some sort of paper. She walked over to me, standing bolt upright. But in the end, never took out that piece of paper. She had a somewhat vexed expression as she glared at me. Although her babyish face may lose its bite, she then clicked her tongue and turned away. Hey, wait! I couldn't stop myself from calling out to her. If you need something, just say it. I replied. The bobbed-haired girl turned back and said, Moron. Moron? No matter how much of a mild-mannered and sincere of a person I was, I wasn't one to stand being insulted by a girl I'd never met before. Why are you being so rude? What's your name? What grade are you? I asked, but she simply snapped back. Shut up! It's your fault in the first place. And then she pointed her small index finger at me. People like you are the reason these things keep happening. Learn your place, fool. Fool, you. Can we get a still shot of her? This one? Alright. After that, she rapidly asked me, do your shoulders ache? Do your ears ring? Are you able to sleep at night? Was he some sort of doctor's apprentice? Apprentice? I mean, did this university even have a medical school? While I was bewildered, the girl finally pulled out the piece of paper from her pocket. She thrust it in front of my nose. Before I could even pick it up, she ran off like a rabbit. By the time I picked it up, she had already left the classroom. The hell was that? In the empty classroom, I picked up the paper and looked down at it. It was like a handmade business card. It merely read, What? Beatrice Research Club President, Kurimoto Sina. And the location of the Beatnik Research Club situated in the Western Club building. That night, I saw them Yoshigyoshi Chunya vibes too. In my dream, I was still living in that house. That old three-story mountain cottage-style building by the riverbank. Beatnik. There, I was looking at myself. It was like an out-of-body experience with my body floating in space. And I was gazing down upon a different me living my life. The me directly below showed no signs of noticing me. Seemed to live normally. He is the ghost. He is the ghost. It seemed I was looking a bit into the past. I, who still didn't know the fear of the midnight sounds, was living there unconcernedly. Hey, give up on this house. I wanted to call out to him. But as a person just drifting through the air in a dream, there was nothing I could do. All I could do was stare blankly. Eventually, I noticed that Gracia was sitting next to me. The two of us didn't speak to each other. Just did what we liked. I was yawning as I watched TV, while she was just quietly reading an old-looking book. It was just a dream, so I was free to make up any situation I wanted. But it's true that if I were to live together with her, it would be strange. It's neither of us who would really interfere with the other. Eventually, the man down there got bored of the TV and proceeded to stretch, wash his face, and brush his teeth. Should have studied a little or something, but he was going to bed now. Yet, Nick, don't call me that! Don't start calling me that! As I observed myself as an outsider, I realized that I was a pretty worthless person. What the heck? I boasted that I would rebuild my family's downtrodden lumber business, departed Shizuoka in opposition to my father and big sister, failed to get into the seminar I wanted, and then just wandered occult sites. The Atnek Biofort, not what I'm called! Plus, I hadn't even written a single letter to my mother, who was the only one who agreed to my decision to move to Tokyo, and who I'd promised to send letters to. In the end, I got lured by the cheap price and moved into a haunted house, running into a Denpa girl along the way. I wanted to slap myself. Deciding glared, I quickly curled up in my bedroom, turned off the lights as if I couldn't see Joycey, even though she was in the room. Joycey seemed to notice the lights had gone off, as she closed her book and stared off into space. I floated down to UAC. I turned the light on for her. It's about time. I had a horrible feeling when UAC said that day too. And then, the darkness illuminated only by the moonlight, I heard that sound. From somewhere. The sound of something being scraped. An ominous melody ringing across the border connecting this world and the other. My whole body stiffened as I heard the sound, as if something, somewhere, was trying to crawl out of some sealed space. It was like watching the supernatural shows on TV, where they set up a camera in rooms where ghosts are rumored to appear. This is a nightmare, isn't it? I need to wake up as soon as possible, because if I stay here like this, I would end up seeing this something that was engraving numbers into this house. I frantically tried to wake up. I waved my limbs around trying to touch something, but I couldn't wake myself from the dream. Just close your eyes, dummy. It was like my body had been caught by some black hand that seeped out of a different world. Feeling the despair of having been locked in a room with no exit, the dream where only my ragged breath echoed, I suddenly found myself next to Yoichi. On the old leather sofa, I held Yoichi in my arms. I played with her body, as if I were trying to stain both of my palms with Yoishi's body heat. That was my wish, and yet it wasn't. And, of course, I had some interest in girls as a regular 18-year-old boy, but my lust wasn't this twisted. I wasn't the type to release my sexual desires by turning myself into an unseen existence. I should have had that much reason left in me. However, Yoshi showed no signs of fear. If anything, she was in a state of ecstasy. Yeah, this SFW. Expression dangerous. I felt my rational mind flap its wings and fly away. I was ready to freaking censor it! I was ready! Wait, I'm pretty sure. Wait, VNDV. Para, phenomenal. No, it is SFW, no? It is. Oh, no sexual contents, it said. But what is this? I'm sure. I liked the way she skinned. I grabbed her breast through her clothes. I lusted all over her soft body with the tips of my fingers. I pulled up her long skirt, exposing her pale thighs. Tracy's eyes were barely open. Her lips were slightly parted, revealing her white teeth. Stop. I stared her minimum body, but I couldn't reach it. No, this is fine. If it's text, it's fine. But I couldn't restrain the abnormal sexual desire that was boiling up inside. I said this is about Ghost Day too! Yeah, however, I almost screamed. Great crab height, thank you for the follow, you too. My arms were not once I'd become accustomed to seeing, but were long and thin, like that of an old man. Oh, she's a ghost fucker! Those sleeves were gray and worn. I was wearing an old suit. I thought I smelled the scent of some cologne. I stretched out my trembling arms straight up to my face and stroked my cheek, my nose, and my lips. Oh, so the reason why he had like really bad lust was because he was playing out the man. He was feeling the man's lust day too. So it's not him. He's inside the body of the Oji-san ghost. And the feeling was horrifyingly unlike anything I'd ever known. It was definitely that of someone else, and I knew whose it was. No, he wasn't possessed by a horny ghost. It's more of, in his dream, his spirit went inside of the ghost, so he could see, feel everything that the ghost was doing. So the lust and all that stuff that he didn't want to do, like the groping and all the things that he couldn't control, it was actually the ghost. He was inside of a ghost. Literally. Hmm. That man standing in the corner of my vision, and at last, my face tilted against my will. I turned to the front window, where the moonlight was shining in, and there my eyes saw with the man hanging over UAC. That moment was conscious. I awoke with a violent shudder. I was in my new apartment, lit by freakishly blinding fluorescent lights. On a table next to me was an empty convenience store meal box I just eaten, an unfinished bottle of oolong tea. A bag full of university textbooks and notebooks were scattered near my pillow. There were cheap curtains on the sash leading to the small veranda, which swayed from the night breeze coming through a small gap in the sash. Took a deep breath. Heart was still pounding. I came home from my part-time job, ate some food, and then fell asleep at some point it seemed. Stop fucking freaking me out! Missing no one in particular, I grabbed the bottle and gulped down about a third or so of the remaining oolong tea. Felt so incredibly thirsty that even lukewarm oolong tea tasted delicious. After finishing it, I finally calmed down and ruffled my hair as I exhaled sharply. Calm down. It was just a dream. It's only been about 2 weeks since that thing happened. It's not surprising that I still have some fear somewhere in my heart. That's why I saw that dream. That's all it is. I mumbled in an effort to convince myself, but my heart still didn't stop pounding. I could still vividly feel Yoishi's soft body in both my hands. It was then that I realized something had been ringing in my head the whole time. It was a small but definite warning sound, like a phone from the neighbor. A cell phone left ringing in my pocket. What's bothering me? I looked around the room. There was only a barren room there, with barely any furniture and fresh white wallpaper surrounding me. Nothing had changed since I went to sleep. However, the bell inside my head kept ringing relentlessly. What the hell is it? I stood up and looked around the room again. There was nothing out of the ordinary. The after effects of the scary dream were just lingering inside me. That's all. I was trying to make myself believe that, and I noticed it. Next to the wall was a ladder leading to the small loft. The light for the loft was different, so that place only remained dark. Just then, I felt something cold travel down my spine. Why did I end up picking a place with a loft? That dark area where someone could unexpectedly peep in. Oh, he's turning schizoid too. He's turning crazy. He's becoming paranoid. A dark area where someone could unexpectedly peep in from at any moment amplified my unpleasant thoughts. But apparently, the warning alarm inside me felt like it was directed straight at the loft. Oh, that's creepy. I must hear the cars look up with the warning sound and grew louder. I swallowed once and turned on the light next to the ladder to the loft. Ooh. 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 I placed a foot on the ladder, climbing it one step at a time. Then, with all my resolve, I peered into the loft. Nothing! The loft was, of course, empty. But below me, the ghost was right there staring up at me. The only thing there was a sleeping bag I bought in place of a futon and a few books scattered about. I breathed a sigh of relief and was about to climb back down when I noticed it. On the other side of the sleeping bag. Oh! It's two! On the other side of the sleeping bag, on the furthest wall at the back, I saw something. Scratches. The lines had been violently etched, one perpendicular to the other. Neat! I let out a silent scream and fell off the ladder. My knees and shoulders made a horrible noise when they struck the ground, but I didn't care. I somehow managed to grab my wallet and cell phone before running out of the apartment. Those weren't just lines. Definitely not lines. That was... two. I knew it. The number 2. Even after I moved places, the countdown still continued. Me. Itama. I ran out into the residential area at night, and for the time being, ran to the nearest convenience store in search of light. As I ran, I tapped my cell phone, accessing Ikaigabutsu. I looked at the forum from end to end. I didn't care if it was Kailasu-san, Susan, Yoichi, or anyone else. I searched finally to see if anyone I knew was posting. Then I found it. In a thread titled Serious Dimension Instagram sign, Yoichi had posted a mere 30 minutes ago. Ignoring the serious discussion of how to see the Yata no Kagami at the intersection of the shrine, I posted, "Hey Yuichi, please help me." The quote made so their debate interrupted, made all sorts of derisive comments at my tactless post. But I ignored them and kept posting. "Yoshi, are you reading this? Something me, still haunting me." However, Yoshi didn't reply, and all I did was anger the Ise Grand Shrine maniac. Even after reaching the convenience store, I continued checking other Ikaigawatsu forum threads in the parking lot. I tried posting random threads that Yoshi might find interesting. I told her I was in danger. Contact me immediately. I might have posted a little too much, as the entire forum soon rose up in arms, calling me a troll. If I got banned, I'd have trouble contacting her, so I responded, "No, I'm not trolling, I'm seriously in trouble." But people just coldly responded, "Yep, he's trolling." Eventually, someone called me DQN, dumbass, and I exploded, writing in all caps, "You cult maniac scum," which set the thread ablaze. Why is he fighting in this situation? Why is he fighting with internet strangers in this situation? You're about to die, man. I was being bombarded with all kinds of abuse. It was like a 100 versus 1 flame war. Right as I was starting to feel like the world was against me, and the moment I was about to throw my mobile phone away, I saw the post. "Are you naughty?" Someone had posted that message. I looked at their name. It said Krishna! Wait, is Krishna the short-haired girl? That miraculous name was like a gift from heaven, one that almost made me crumble to the ground. I tried to type back a response, but my fingers were trembling too much. I struggled to reply. Chris's son posted again, and it stated, "Come to the place written on the card they gave you that afternoon." It is her! No, no, yeah, I know it's the one that MC was fanboying over because he loved her articles. I was asking if she was actually the short-haired girl. It was past 2 o'clock late at night. I left my bicycle behind, so I plodded my way to the university on foot. Of course, the front gate was closed, and the security guard eyed me suspiciously. "Yeah, it's the Megane." As if to escape his gaze, I went in a circle and followed the Zelkova trees on my left along the university wall. After a short walk, I reached a western building which housed the Beatnik Research Club room. It housed the Beatnik. Kurimoto Shina. Krishna. Oh! I was so stupid. I had realized nothing. I think that the administrator of Kaigabutsu, Krishna, was a person who attended the same university as me. And for that baby-faced girl to be Krishna was unimaginable. But how did she know it was him? I went straight to the club room building in the far end, and as I entered, I was met with surprise. There were still quite a few students left inside, and some club rooms were still noisy. Is this some kind of nightless city? I thought exasperatedly. Hearing such characteristic small talk, I felt ashamed of myself for being frightened by ghostly disturbances. At the same time, I felt pathetic for getting involved in such a silly ruckus. I walked with heavy feet to the Beatnik Research Club on the third floor. Upon arriving, I saw a light shine through the frosted glass. I knocked on the door and heard a familiar voice. I introduced myself. It's Nagi. It's not Umineko, it's Phenomenal by Night Replies. If you're asking if my name is an Umineko reference, so yeah, yes, they do. Open. Excuse me. Opening the door, I found myself facing a bleak, dimly lit concrete walled room of about 16 square meters. Saya no uta. No, I said it's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Oh, never mind. But it's not the popular visual novel, Eldritch Horror Waifu. It's this ghost VN I never heard of before. A concrete room of about 6 square meters. There was a single steel cabinet placed against the wall. In the middle was a relatively large work table, and around it were 4 chairs, 3 of which were occupied by both men and women. At the center, it's her! Why is Maya playing Data Live? You guys are just baiting me, Nagi, too. Was a baby-faced girl who had given me a business card in the classroom a few days ago. Her red framed glasses were still the same, but she was dressed in a kind of black dyed shrine maiden outfit, paired with tall wooden cogs, sat perched in a chair. It's very cute, yeah. There you go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're back. This suited her too well. I had no interest in such types, but I came frighteningly close to understanding how people who like lollies and cosplay felt. Oh hey, I mean, hello, are you Krishna-san? I asked, and the girl nodded with an extremely disdainful expression. I warned you to leave that house immediately. Huh? You didn't hear anything from Karase-san? Nothing at all. Krishna-san cutely clicked her tongue and said, anyway, get in. I entered and looked around the room again. Next to the small occult site admin was a woman who seemed to be in her late 20s, dressed in simple white clothes, who in no way looked like a student, and a bald middle-aged man wearing a monk attire who also looked nothing like a student. Like a younger Kawakami from Persona 5. I think that's too far off, Dechu. I didn't know how to greet them, so I just stood awkwardly at the entrance. Nijima? Nijima, where? You mean Makoto Nijima? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I sat down on the chair that had been prepared for me, and when I did so, the middle-aged monk suddenly came up behind me and grabbed my shoulders with his thick arms. Is it the hair? It's probably the hair that makes you think it looks like Makoto. Wait, what's going on? Thereupon, and the face shape. I don't know. Makoto seems older. Like, this one is definitely a baby face. Thereupon, Krishna-san asked me while pushing up her glasses, why are you willingly trying to peek at the other side? And from there, her radio lecture had begun. Are you listening? As long as we don't peek from our side, we won't be seen by the other side. You can have an interest in the cult. It's an admirable human quality to want to know about things you don't understand. Still, the other side's business is the other side's. To them, not being able to see them does not count as an excuse. Even though humans aren't able to see them, we have enough power to be able to feel them. If you think a place is creepy, you should immediately understand that there's something you can't see and pay due respect. Yeah, she's speaking facts, okay? The MC is dumb. And the face of her stern gaze, even I, the fool, could understand. So basically, I've been possessed? I asked tearfully. At this rate, you're pretty screwed. Her expression became even sterner and I stiffened. Krishna-san, The woman in the white dress called out to her. She had no makeup on and held a strangely shaped rosary. It's almost inside. What? What is almost inside? Could you remove it here? I can try. The two finished their strange conversation. Wait, Krisa-san, who are these two? I asked while trying to escape the rather strong monk. Ikai Gabuchi investigators, answered Krisa-san bluntly. Investigators? I'll explain later. Just shut up and away. What's a recap? I just got back from speedrunning assignment jobs. Well, the guy had enough of like the haunted place, cause the Yoichi girl was like, "Oh, this is really a haunted house." So he like moves away, and then he has this nightmare segment where he's groping Yoichi, but he's actually the ghost that's haunting his place. Like he's in that ghost body. It's not actually him. He's just seeing through his eyes, seeing through the ghost eyes. Right? And then he meets this girl in his university who was actually one of the veterans in the thread he frequented about ghosts. And now they're trying to exorcise. They're trying to lift the curse from him, I think, Dechu. Yeah, the ghost is sticking to him. It's pointless. The main body isn't here. Heard from a feminine voice, seemingly far away. It seems we'll have to go to that house after all. That does seem to be the case. The middle-aged man and Krishna-san's voice sounded like a record playing at low speed. I started to go limp. The monk was strong, but that wasn't the only reason. It's not only a Menhera ghost, by the way. It wasn't a Ji-san ghost. He was like filling up young Yuishi-chama. It was as if I didn't realize that I was on the verge of collapse under the burden of a heavy load. And as soon as I realized that, all my sensory organs frantically tried to show me my level of fatigue. A feeling of fatigue covered my entire body, as if my whole body was sinking into a bottomless mud pit. You can't move? You'll be okay. Just don't move. At the end of Chris-san's strangely gentle voice, I lost consciousness. You gonna have another dream? To be honest, I don't remember much after that. I think I was loaded into a car. And then I think there was a lot of shaking. My consciousness came back when I felt a familiar sense of coldness on my skin. One that seemed to want to wring me dry. My body was still had me and my consciousness still felt muddy. My survival instincts seemed to scream that whatever this was, it was bad news. When I came to, I was in front of that house. The middle-aged priest was carrying me on his back, and we were walking up the stairs leading to the entrance. Yaharo! Yaharo! I only follow cute bottoms. Thank you for the follow, too! No way! How no? I don't want to come back here again. I wanted to shout, but in reality, I couldn't even move my fingertips anymore. Not caring for my bill, I was carried by the middle-aged man, and I was now again in front of the entrance to that house alongside Krishna-san and the white-clothed woman. I don't want to go back here! Krishna-san easily opened the door. I was sure I'd locked it when I left, but it opened without a sound. Moreover, an ethereal light glowed from inside. Who's there? Krishna-san asked sharply. I forced my resistant eyelids shut. No! I don't want to see them. I don't care who it was. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I give up. I decided right then and there. If I was able to see the sunrise tomorrow, I would go straight back home to Shizuoka. It was only possible for me to live alone in this demonic city of Tokyo, after all. I wanted to rebuild my family's business and came to Tokyo to study for it, but it was too much of a waste to live alone. Cody, thank you for the follow, Dechu. I was better off living in the countryside, surrounded by my families and friends. My father and sister, who were against my decision, were right after all. My mother alone supported me, but now I just felt apologetic towards her. I tried. I did my best. I couldn't have imagined this turn of events, and I couldn't cope with it, so... Close the door on your way in. Someone answered from inside the house. I recognized that voice, that cold, clear, and somewhat definitive manner of speaking. Want to know what's to happen? Then please abide. Right? His voice. Yoichi. A whisper echoed through the silence. Yoichi? Krishna-san's voice, which sounded as if it was suspicious of her, overlapped with Yoshi's lackadaisical voice, saying, Good evening. There was a spare chair near the faucet below, so I used that to come in. Let's go in. California is a shithole. Is that from personal experience? Hearing Krishna-san's decisive call, the middle-aged man entered the foyer, still carrying me. He took off his shoes and continued on to the living room. Krishna-san and the woman in the white followed behind. When I looked over the middleman's shoulder, I saw Yoichi sitting with her hands clasping one knee in the middle of the empty living room. The lighted candle and a small empty can beside her. I have friends and I are also in California. Fortunately, I don't. That was the source of the faint light. Who are you? And what are you doing here? Yushi's son sounded as if she were scolding her, but Yoshi still answered lackadaisically. Be very quiet. You brought that person here, then you too must already be aware of what is happening in this house. Yoshi, I see. Yoshi's son groaned. So you're Yoshi. You're the girl that occasionally posts on Ikai Gabuchi. Yoshi remained silent, but Chris's-san clicked her tongue and continued. Cat fight dechu! I have no problem with you having an interest in the occult, but there is a difference between having an interest and actually walking in the abyss. You should be aware that you're messing around in a very hazy boundary line. Nothing to worry about. Yoshi flatly responded to Chris's-san's harsh tone. I'm confidently aware of that much at least. Hello! Wow, she's undeterred by Christian-san's threatening attitude. This is why girls are scary. My big sis was scary too. And when my mother snapped, she was scarier than my father. Thought this was phasmophobia from the title. No, it's called phenomenal. However, Christian-san responded somewhat sadly. I understand. I get it. I've seen kids like you before. That's exactly why I say this. I have a little sis. Hello, this is definitely my first chat. Hello, this is definitely your first chat. Nice to meet you, day too. People who harbor expectations from the abyss of darkness always drag others into it, whether they intend to or not. Thank you for the poke, day too. Thank you for the poke, I have a little sis. Unfortunately, I'm not interested in big brothers that already have little sisters, day too. Oh. The middle-aged man slowly lowered me down from his shoulder and leaned me against a wall. As I sat there, I could do nothing but forcibly listen to their incomprehensible conversation. My powerless body felt like it was being dragged about, and I was fully aware of my endless sense of helplessness. What happened here? What was happening here? And what was about to happen here? It's as if all of it went against the rules I lived by thus far. I could do nothing here. I could only listen to their creepy conversation, be a bystander to their lurid theatrics. However, the desire to get away from it all was strong. I don't know if I should be offended or honored you guys are scared by women, but okay. Don't worry, this girl boss it. This girl boss it out me too. Boo! However, the desire to get away from it all was stronger than my desire to learn the truth. I just wanted to get out of here as soon as possible to a brighter place. Yes, the sun. Just then, the monk interrupted both of them. It's begun. sound began as soon as he spoke. From somewhere in the building, that sound echoed. I was actually scared of women before too. I was from a Catholic all-girls school, and the women there were insane, okay? I was also insane too, but it was... Everybody was insane, they too! Scratch, scratch, scratch. That sound alone echoed, as if overpowering everything. Scratch, scratch, crunch, crunch. Something creaking somewhere. You're insane? I'm still insane. Something making a carving noise. The sound was the loudest I'd ever heard. It was almost as if something was trying to crush this place from outside. It was a free-for-all in your school, Empress? What do you mean by free-for-all? Bro, especially sexy, big-bobbied women. Oh god, I hope no big-bobbied women. I'll do it myself, why not? I know. Catholic girls' school. Sad. My condolences, Biyako. Yeah, don't worry about it. It gave me really bad trauma for a long time, but I got over it. Me too. The sound was the loudest I'd ever heard. It was almost as if something was trying to crush this place from outside, and then that's when I closed my eyes. I was completely in tears, and the world was filled with nothing but creepy noises. Empress, news before you Pandora. Hello! I'm glad my family was never religious. I always hear such terrible things about it. My family isn't that much religious today too. I got over the trauma by swinging hard the other direction. Actually, it was by meeting female friends that weren't going insane because they were trapped in a strict Catholic school. That got me over my trauma of crazy women. Okay. I was actually scared of them. It was like... Imagine like... bullies that were very, very, very mentally ill. And there was like... all of them in the classroom, right? All of them in the classroom. High school trauma dumping. Yeah, exactly. Getting involved with other crazy women improved. I was hanging out with good crazy people, okay? It has nothing to do with them being women. I just didn't like how it was just like a very strict Catholic school that was so strict it stressed its students out, and the only way they could get over that was by bullying others, and that was what scared me the most, okay? I saw like a group of girls stalk another girl, right? Because they leaked her nudes. And that was insane. That was in high school. I was 15, me too. Insane. Yeah. There was like a scandal like that. There was a scandal that a girl in the other section had her news leaked, and then a bunch of girls started stalking her in school. It was insane. Like, physically stalking her. And I was in the parking lot waiting for my ride, and I saw that happen. And then, when I moved to a not-so-strict school that was co-ed, suddenly, everybody was way nicer! Imagine now when you can just get deepfake instead. Oh yeah, a lot of girls also killed themselves there. It was an insane school, by the way. Catholic school is a nightmare, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, every school I went to was a Catholic school. Thank God, my latest school was not very religious, okay? As I was about to tearfully shout that out loud, I heard Joyce's voice. How lovely. Counseling and mental asylum more than school, yeah. Her happy voice entered my ears and I felt enraged. Lovely. Are you fucking insane? It's beyond sanity sneaking to a house alone in the middle of the night with a ghost milling about and just sit there with nothing but a candle. Ah, I get it. You're that kind of person. You're like a friend of ghosts. Then great. Can you tell your friend to stop scaring the shit out of me? I'm sorry for barging in on your house, but I didn't know. I cleaned up after myself and left already, so tell him to stop bothering me already. I mean, tell your friend to stop following me to my new place and stop giving me countdowns. I don't know what sort of grudge they have against the world, but I'm completely unrelated to it, so stop. Tell them that. This is the best horror protagonist quote ever. This is the best horror protagonist scene, okay? I like getting little life stories from Beato. They are also interesting even if they are depressing. Yeah, I mean, you get that from anyone that had to like go through Catholic school, okay? Talk to anyone that went through Catholic school. It's all like interesting but depressing stories, alright? It's not even because of the religion itself, right? It was because the people, the teachers, the higher ups, they were also unfathomable, okay? Like, they were just so controlling and so insane. And like, I had this teacher and we had to do like this debate thing. And then the topic my group got was that should abortion be legal, right? Oh god, I'm talking about abortion. And my school, well, it was a teacher that gave us that assignment. And the teacher was insane. She was like, I don't care if a girl gets raped. She shouldn't abort her baby, even if she would die from it. And I was like, we were all like... What did I join on to? I was talking about my Catholic school teachers. Yeah, and she was like, it's their fault for even getting into that situation. We were like, oh, what the fuck? It was a really old woman, so I shouldn't have been surprised, but it was still like a jaw-dropping experience. But yeah. When you have crazy teachers and probably those poor kids have weird parents for sending their kids to such schools, yeah. You know, very good courage and cowardly dog impression takes. And they let that person teach children. I hope she's fired now. Everybody hates her. Even my senpais that graduated from this school hated her. They were like, oh, is she still teaching? Is she your teacher? Oh my god, good luck. God, I hate her so much. Of course, my body won't move and neither would my mouth. I begged Yoichi with all my might. However, Yoichi didn't care for my feelings at all. Hey, are you scared? I heard an inexplicable voice full of expectation in my ear. It seemed Yoichi had come right next to me, but I kept my eyes firmly shut. Instead, I screamed at her with my soul. Of course I'm fucking scared. I'm super fucking scared. My body won't move and some incomprehensible sound is echoing through my head. And the only people around me are psychos and ghosts. Right, this house only has psychos in it now. A psychotic administrator that gathers and edits creepy articles, a psychotic woman holding some bizarre religious items despite being old enough to know better, some psychotic baldy who seems to only have bodybuilding as a hobby. Wait, then there's you. A psychotic girl with straight cut bangs covered in black. On top of that, there's some gloomy douche of a ghost that never shows itself, but does annoying pranks like carved numbers. Seriously, knock it off. Are all of you actually enjoying an emergency offline mini here right now? You're all just waiting for me to piss my pants, aren't you? Come on, knock it off. I've apologized. I was wrong. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to see those numbers anymore. Next is 1, and then what? What's next? I don't want to know. I mean, if you're gonna kill me, do it at once. Stop chasing me around and shit. He's crashing out. However, sun had stopped. My eyes were squeezed shut, and the outside of my pitch black world was filled with silence. What? How? What happened? I became worried that everyone had left, but was also afraid that if I were to open my eyes, something else would be there. Still, I couldn't just stay like this. I was already exhausted. I began to feel reckless. If you're gonna kill me, just do it. I don't want to be haunted to death like this. Just give me a bad end already. I opened my tearful eyes, but all I saw was the same house I lived in as before, and everyone was still there. Christa-san stood in front of the door to the bedroom. The woman dressed in white stood in the middle of the living room with her eyes closed. The monk lingered by my side, and Yoichi alone stared at me emotionless. It's just a prank, bro. Chill, Jesus. Not that deep. Everyone was standing at the same spot they were before I had closed my eyes. Silly little prank. I mean, he had to like move out and spend more because of it, but it's just a prank. It wasn't that deep. I met my tearful gaze at Yoichi's eyes, who nodded once in return, then looked straight down. I followed her sight. It focused at my feet. Feet? Her feet? One. 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 There you go. As if cutting across the space between both of them, a thick scratch had been carved into the floor. Oh! Ah! I screamed, pulling my sluggish body away from it. But was paralyzed with fear. I could only move in a strange, squirming way. However, I got out of there anyway, mobilizing everything I could to move. I already knew it was coming. It was one. It's one. It's all over. I'm tired of this. I'm going home, back to Shizuoka. Calm down, Nagi-kun. I heard Chris's voice call out to me. But before I realized it, he started calling me Nagi-kun. But I couldn't care less at the moment and continued to crawl away. I was desperately trying to flee from that number. I won't! What's the point of me staying here? What's going to happen next? What's going to happen to me? Pull yourself together, Nagi-kun. Chris's voice sounded out once more. Ouch! God damn it, I must have been the monk. A tremendous thud echoed down my back. Then the woman dressed in white started chanting something unintelligible. It was filled with strange rhymes I'd never heard before. Countless words whose power was making my head go insane. Eh? Eh? Is this safe? As I frantically flailed about trying to escape, suddenly a long black street blocked my path. It was Yoichi, dressed in her usual black clothes. Move. I spoke in a trembling voice, but this time, her eyes were glass beads, nor was there a glimmer to be seen. Rather, this time, Yoichi had a look of fascination as she reached out to me with her hand. Give me that thing. That thing? Thing you're holding, she said, and I looked at what I was holding in my hand. A key! It was the key to my apartment, the one I left in my pocket. I was holding it backwards, and there were wood shavings stuck at the end. For a while, I didn't know what that meant. Oh! But then the wood shavings fell off and landed on the one that had been ominously carved at my feet. It can't be. He's crazy! He's schizo! It really is Fight Club! That's impossible. There's no way. It was him! Yes. Yoshi spoke in a whisper. The one carving numbers into this house was always you. With those words, my consciousness went completely blank. He was being possessed. Was he? There was an old man in the house. In short, it was just a schema. It was on an evening about 5 days later. Christian was talking to me in the Beatrice's club room at the university. Or rather, a reverse schema. You see, that house makes people uneasy. Krishna-san and I were facing each other in the club room with the beautiful evening sun shining through the house. Makes people uneasy? I repeated like a fool, and Krishna nodded in confirmation. It was really him? What about the hand? What about the disgusting hand? What was that? Yako Club. Some of them turned into murdering scenes. There have been many cases of people who lived there turning into crime. There's no actual scientific proof of the correlation, but I'm of the opinion that they exist. People's minds, after all, are unstable things that can be manipulated in any direction by the slightest load. Wait a second. What exactly do you mean by that? Basically, that building wasn't built for people. Those words sent chill through me like I was gripped by the heart. I'll avoid saying their name here. The architect who built that building was a promising young man who had won several architectural awards since his university days. As she spoke in remembrance, Krishna-san was illuminated by the golden sunlight, and her beautiful straight bob black hair glittered. He was supposedly a very serious person. Maybe too serious. He was the type of person that wondered what buildings are, and he would lose sleep pondering over that. Above all, he loved seeing his clients happy, so he put his ingenuity to the test. One day, however, he realized the futility that arose when one person asked him for a different design. And he watched the house he'd put his blood and soul into be demolished in the name of renovation. Families change, preferences change. It's an inevitability in life that can't be avoided, but he couldn't bear it. If you took care of it properly, it will last over 100 years. Sometimes people should adapt to the building. Leaving behind those words, he vanished from the atelier from one day. His family reported him missing, but he was never seen again and was eventually declared dead a few years later. That was over 30 years ago. That atelier was his final work and had at some point been dubbed the Wish Fulfilling House. Krishna-san pointed out the third floor window to a visible residential area. This country tossed aside countless traditions with the westernization of the Meiji era. One of these traditions, I believe, is housing. Tiled roofs became scarcer over the years, and the number of buildings that can be lived in and passed down through several generations became rare. We entered an age of mass production and mass consumption. Capitalism. Peepit, thank you for the follow day too. We weren't inheriting treasures anymore, believing instead that you could reset life every few decades. That way, we could satisfy the economic activities of supply and demand. But I can't help but feel that this is weakening something that was inherently important to the people of this country. The story made me recall something. My father said something similar. It takes 30 years to grow one strong, healthy tree. Yeah, this is the moral lesson. Happy to listen. And yet, Japanese lumber industry found itself in danger of going out of business in the face of massive imports of cheap lumber from emerging economy. It wasn't that he was worried about his job. He was afraid that the idea that you could get an unlimited amount of cheap wood would become ingrained in the minds of the people of this country. In the past, people would pray to the gods of forests, cut trees while offering gratitude towards them. They carefully built houses with that wood. Whenever they rebuilt, try to reuse the original wood whenever possible. Even on this earthquake-riddled island nation, Horyuji template has retained its majestic appearance even after 1,000 years. Said that the skill of the carpenters who understood the finest characteristics of the wood was, of course, amazing. But what's more important was the reverence toward nature's gifts. I was agonized over having been born into a family whose business dealt with lumber. Did I take care of the buildings I lived in as I grew up? Did I ever think about the feelings of those who built them? I thought of the It's just a monster house, they too. I thought of the construction sites for renovation and new buildings I saw every day. in this grand city, and wondered if a day would ever come when his would be fulfilled. According to Krishna-san, everything originated from the design of that house, which was the intent of the architect. When an architectural friend of Krishna-san took a look at the house, they noted that while it looked simple, it used extremely high-level technique. Even the rattling of the house was due to the fact that the beams and other structural elements had some mechanisms in them to make the structure squeak, in order to protect the building from wind, rain, and earthquakes. Oh my god! So that was the squeaking noises! The meaningful space under the stairs is the center point of a sturdily built house. The kitchen, which gets overused the most, was deliberately omitted. The living spaces were deliberately cut off from one another. It was certainly a house that was built to last. Also, it wasn't a house for living in, it was a house just for it to last. Like in a museum or something. Gito. Mrs. mumbled as she pushed her red framed glasses up. Normally, houses should revolve around the inhabitants, but not in this case. The inhabitants inevitably began to feel like the house was built for something other than themselves. This causes a disturbance in the mind's equilibrium. So what do you think would happen when a boy who just recently arrived in Tokyo with few friends decides to live there? In other words, it had nothing to do with ghosts? Dude, probably much more mentally fatigued than you realize, having moved to a city alone and all. Then there was that sound. You must have endured it at first despite feeling afraid. But eventually, you reach the limit, and then what do you think the person would do? He's gaslighting him! Under her glasses, Chris's son gazed at me with her big eyes. They create a reason to escape from their fears. Create a reason? Yes, they create a reason for the sounds. In other words, you are subconsciously carving numbers into the walls of the house at night. What? I was speechless, and Chris's son leaned in closer. Think about it, Nagi-kun. Where does fear come from? It comes from the unknown. That's why people study and learn. They research inexplicable things to escape from the fear of the unknown. All human wisdom has been built up to escape fear. Cooking developed out of fear of starvation. Clothing developed out of fear of external temperatures. And buildings and weapons developed out of fear of external enemies. Everything began with human fears. You thought there was an inexplicable sound at night. However, no matter how much you searched the house, you couldn't find the source of the noise. Of course not. You have to know that the house was deliberately designed to make sounds, but you had no way of knowing that. So then, what did you do? Cornered, you created a reason for the sounds. In other words, a reverse schema. Oh. I know there's another term for this, I'm trying to remember. Like, you start to believe in something. Like, you start to delude yourself into believing something to cope. I forgot what it was called, too. Is that even possible? It's not reverse schema. The term I know it. Yeah, what about that one? No, it had to be. Otherwise, how would the number 4 have been carved into the back of a shoe I've been wearing all along? I was the one wearing it, so it had to have been me. It's an astigmatism. My lower body was trembling. Another self-acting independently of my will. No, I was terrified of the fact that I was not in full control of all my functions. Well, Chris's son sat back down inside. It was also my fault for knowing there was such property nearby and neglecting it. Sorry, said as she bowed her bobbed head, which flustered me. No, please don't. It all started with me being greedy because I wanted to skimp on living expenses and didn't immediately move out. Please raise your head, I frantically said. It was your fault, she nodded readily. There are no shortcuts for granting wishes. I had no excuse at all and I just hung my head. However, I realized there was one question that was still unanswered. Wait a second. Now why were the numbers counting down? Princess Sun shook her head, saying, I don't know. Huh? You don't know? I asked, Chris's big eyes glimmered with amusement for some reason. I don't know. But I think he carved a 10 on the wall. A 10? Not a 7? Right, the number 10. But maybe it wasn't meant to be a number to begin with. It could have been anything for you. Carving anything on the wall as the source of the sounds would have alleviated your fear. But here's where a certain coincidence occurred, which was the cause of this incident. There was an accidental scratch on the spot where he carved. Right from the start. You subconsciously remembered carving 10 somewhere. Yet when you woke up, it overlapped with a scratch that was originally there to create 7, and that was what gave birth to something else inside you, a ghost. This gaslighting so hard right now, too. Ah, I recall the first time I saw the numbers, the feeling of uncontrollable anxiety. It was a feeling of knowing that something was happening that I couldn't cope with or understand. After that, you continued carving numbers into the wall in accordance with the sound you heard after sleeping. Wait, I need to drink water. My throat is getting raspy too. The countdown was probably because of your subconscious desire. Numbers went up. It would go on forever. So what about after he moved? He still started getting scared because of his nightmare, and he started like carving into his new house because he still got nightmares. I think it was told that somewhere along the line it would end one day. Krishna-san then nodded with a mischievous look on her face. You're quite simple. The countdown had truly. You may have ended your life. Glad we made it on time. Then that, she showed me a soft smile for the first time. Alright? I hope you have learned your lesson to not enter the world of ghosts out of pure curiosity. You need to respect all beings as well as the living. That's the main goal of Ikaigabuchi after all. And the Krishna-san, who said such things with complete seriousness, was, as I had imagined, a clear and straightforward person. Although, there's a far more Moel-like character look than that of a father or big brother. And in that, the complex, tangled, inexplicable threads had been unraveled. But is there more? According to Krishna-san, they realized that the structure of the building caused anxiety in the psyche of its inhabitants the moment I made my first post. In an effort to keep it under wraps, she indirectly tried to tell me through Karasu-san. But Karasu-san was pretty careless to begin with, and she became drunk on top of that. The important message never got across to me. This is why things had escalated to this point. So if she wasn't drunk, this wouldn't have happened. It was a fun ride, but I'm not as much of a fan of the supernatural was all fake haha endings. Yeah, wait, that's true, but I feel like there's some more, because it hasn't explained like his nightmares of like the really detailed ghost he saw. I feel like there's more. And what about Yoichi? In any case, everything had been solved. That was alright. I'll give you a warning though. I was leaving the club room. Krishna-san warned. This game is that short. Yeah, I like the suspense a lot, me too. You don't seem to have much tolerance for this field. Maybe I shouldn't be seeing it as an administrator for an occult type, but you shouldn't delve into the occult genre too much. At the very least, make some friends in Tokyo you can confide in, get a girlfriend, and construct a proper solid identity before you dabble into occult as a hobby. And especially, don't get into it like that girl named Yoichi. Ooh. You're telling it about right. And Princess had said Yoichi was abnormal. She had how to put it. It was as if she had her feet planted firmly on the other side. A bizarre level of focus on the paranormal was probably what helped shape those urban legends. Huh. Stepping out of the Western Club building, I was met with an extraordinarily beautiful sunset. clear orange shone straight to the depths of my soul. Damn. My tear glands had weakened completely after this incident, and I was about to burst into tears again out of thankfulness for the peace I had in me. But with a gulp, I managed to hold back the tears. There were a lot of students about, and beyond the gate of the Western Club building was the affiliated high school. There were many high school girls going home as well. I didn't want to embarrass myself as a university student. Just then, I suddenly noticed one of them was staring at me. She was a slender girl with beautiful black hair and fair skin. Her uniformed figure was dazzling, and the way she stood there made her strangely stand out from the rest of the world. Wait, what? I eventually realized that I recognized a beautiful girl, and I couldn't restrain myself from running over to her. Are you by any chance Lucy? The girl then turned her glass bead-like eyes towards me. Oh, it's you. Judging from her sleepy reply, she apparently wasn't staring at me. Yoichi, dressed in her school uniform, stood out in a different way, partly because of her looks. As ever, she was someone far removed from the concept of ordinariness. Yo, how unexpected! You attend their affiliated school? What year are you in? I spoke to her with a big smile on my face. That has nothing to do with you. Yoichi's response was quite cold. There was not a hint of that vitality-filled, ecstatic look in her eyes when she faced the paranormal. I haven't come to school in a while. I haven't come to school in a while. School I shouldn't have come at all. She muttered with a disgusted expression, but I noticed she didn't have the irritating odor from before. She finally took a bath because she had to go to school day too. Seems she'd taken a bath. Glossy black hair, an ironed white blouse, and a black tie. I narrowed my eyes as I gazed at the pretty good. What is? It's better for you to live clean and dress like that, and you look good in that uniform. However, Yoichi turned her back to me, saying, absurd. I intended to praise her, but apparently this annoyed her. If you have nothing to say, then I'm going. She turned on her heel, and I hurriedly stopped her. We're staring over there. You want something from Krishna-san? Krishna. She reacted to that name. Glass bead-like eyes. Then it became full of life. Aigabuchi. Visual. She was very responsive to anything occult related. I then got carried away and dared to drive the conversation that direction. I owe you a lot too. I was told all about that house. Didn't know something like delirium over a building even existed. I completely freaked out when I learned the truth. I was probably in a high after having been freed from my bottled up anxiety. I kept on rambling. I was babbling on and on, everything I'd heard from Krishna-san about the truth of the incident. I talked about the architecture of the house, the regret of the architect who disappeared, and even the housing problems that Japan was facing today, and so on. However, Joyce's reaction was worse than I expected. Without turning towards me, she muttered emotionlessly, "That's good to hear," and walked away. I was really bothered by her somewhat lonely, slender back. Looked as if it would fly away if someone blew on it, so I followed her. I think she's sad because he doesn't believe in ghosts anymore. You're looking kinda down. What's up? Is something still bothering you? The moment I said that, I remembered. Come to think of it, that day, she said something to me at the house. You notice? Right, what did she notice back then? When I answered that, she halted in her tracks. So I turned around and answered another question. Oh, oh, you really want to know? Those cold black eyes were going to swallow me. I heard something inside me say, don't do it. Here on was a story you shouldn't know. It warned. You can still turn back, said Yuichi. From this side, you'll end up being seen by the other side as well. That kind of story. Those words, also spoken by Krishna-san, gave me goosebumps once more. But, here why? This moment, a bizarre sense of excitement assailed me. Oh, he's a true occult maniac now. I wanted to view the world as she did. I wanted to stand where she stood. I wanted to know the secret of how her words will always shake the world I believed in so. Now listen. So tell me. Oh, I said, and the moment I did, either my mind was playing tricks on me, or did UIC seem to have slightly or did UIC seem to have a slightly forlorn expression on her. However, would only later realize that this was the turning. A bizarre, grotesque, irredeemable story about wandering through the darkness of humanity began right here. God. The journey around the boundary between this world and that one. The journey around Ikaigabuchi, abyss of the spirit world, began at this very moment. Eventually, Hoishi nodded once more and then began to narrate. I've been wondering for a while, why is it called the Wishful Feeling House? Why? Because the title lacks a subject. Whose wish is it fulfilling? These words gave me chills. I immediately began regretting my decision. That house isn't a house of hope. The only thing I felt was intense malice from within. Yoichi whispered with the expression of a princess who had been locked away in a dark castle for a millennium. The architect with an unusual love for architecture would disappear. The countdown that began with 7. The mysterious space under the stairs. Someone's wishful feeling house. There's only one answer that ties everything together. Is it the architect's? My goosebumps wouldn't disappear. What was she trying to say? What was going to come out of this? The night-colored girl uttered with a glimmer in her dark eyes. Whoa! The architect, still inside those stairs. Ah. Well, wait a sec. Of course, he's not alive anymore. But it all comes together. Why there's a meaningless space under the stairs? Why it was named the Wishful Feeling House, and why the numbers began with 7. Wait, that doesn't explain anything. It didn't start with 7, it was originally 10, and I just happened to write the number over an already existing scratch? Wrong. Her words twisted my world. You originally wrote 10, that much is true. But there was never a scratch originally. Someone added the scratch that changed it to 7. How can you say that happened? I saw it. Saw what? I saw you scrolled 10. I saw your scrolled 10 had been scratched from the top and turned into a 7. And then the reason Krishna-san kept saying there was no ghost in the house was because Yoshi turned her eyes to the Western Club building with a sad look on her face. Ignorance is bliss after all. I am doing back bicep today. How many pull-ups should I do for 5 sets? 50. That is that person's kindness. Something I lack. Ah! I had to laugh or else I would have gone insane. You're lying, aren't you? You're making this all up. Oh, I got it. It's an occult story you read somewhere. I continued laughing, praying that that was the case. Then she looked at me sympathetically with a mournful gaze. It's all true, because when I could no longer utter a word in rebuttal, Yoshi quietly landed the final blow. After you were carried out, some man I'd never seen before was clicking his tongue on the stairs. Jesus. As the world went dark. I love the grungy effects though. Only Yoishi's cold, sweet voice reverberated. Welcome to the world on this side. Oh my god! Oh, it's done! Oh, it's done! That's it. That's phenomenal. Yeah, I love the effects in the picture so much. What? That's the end? There's a light novel of the sequel for this day too. Yeah, I'm glad it ended spooky too. There's also a light novel I heard for the continuation of this day too. And I think it shows the protagonist. It looks pretty okay. It looks nice. He looks like a college student. And not like a watered down college student, like a normal college student that's like pissed off. Like the MC of Grisaya. Yay! Wait, I'm listening to the music because I like the music a lot. And I can't read these texts. So what do you guys think? This design is too good to be used in SFW and Nitro Plus games. Maybe eventually. I mean, there's in Mojica, someone vaguely resembles her in Mojica. It's also by Nitro Plus. I thought it was by Clock Up though. What do you guys think though? Do you think it was a ghost, or do you guys think it was just the MC going delusional? Now, Nitro Plus, the same as Supersonical, yeah. What do you guys think? I think it's the delusional route. I think it's the ghost route. Because they both saw the same thing when they were trying to do that closed eyes imagine your housing. They both saw the old man detail. Yeah, the MC is not a reliable narrator, but I love unreliable narrators. They too. I think we needed to play the sequel. It's a light novel, not a visual novel. And I don't think it's translated. They too. The Delulu route is very interesting. I think they're both pretty interesting. And then there was also like I really wonder why they had to put that part where the ghost was molesting her though. I was like, wait, are they going to cover that? Or is it just like something that has happened too? Well, pen during the light novel, see y'all in the morning. How long is it anyway? I don't even think it's that long. Light novels are pretty short too. Fan service. That was incredibly important for the plot, Beato. Yes, it still reminds you that this is still a Nitro Plus game. Yeah, I was starting to second doubt myself. I was second guess myself. I was like, really? I could have sworn this is an SFW game detail. What is this? And I haven't had lunch yet, they too. I'm eating Doritos right now. But yeah, I've never read this visual novel before. Had it for a long time, but I never read it. And now I did! And I'm glad I did. Because I was really curious about the main girl. Because she looks really pretty. And I'm glad, because she's still really cute. I love Denpa girl so much. And I love the plot twist that... Not really a plot twist. It's just... I love the twist that she's not actually evil. She was just trying to make him learn the truth. Because it's the truth. She'd rather say the truth than be nice and give, you know, ignorance is bliss. But that twist about the architect being inside the space you can't get into from the stairs... BPS hell. Anything lined up for the next video on the street? I don't know, I want something short again. But something I can stream. Something I can show and stream. So, is there anything you guys can suggest? No NSFW. I don't know a lot of SFW visual novels, so... No debate novel is short, just 100 hours. Yeah, that's pretty short for me. I read Uminako. Yeah, hello. But that's NSFW. The weirdest flex. It's not my fault you guys can't pick up reading dechu. Mominako was so long. You remember seeing another horror theme visual novel, but you can't remember the name. What's the name? What's the plot? You can magically acquire a very legal copy of 99. I have the Steam version, so yeah. And it's also voiced, so there's that. Oh, you're talking about cooking companions. You're talking about cooking companions, that's you. I wanna play a Japanese visual novel though. Amagami SS. Actually, I actually don't have the visual novel for this one. Oh, I love 999 so much. My favorite character is Snake, of course, because he's a big brother. Ghost Trick is not a visual novel, I feel like. Ghost Trick is a puzzle game, dechu. A lot of visual novels that are good are like NSFW. Yeah, it's not a VA with puzzles. It's puzzles with a. It's not a VN with puzzles. It's a puzzles with VN. Nekopara. Isn't that really mainstream already though? It's like the most normie one. Nekopara has a SFW on Steam. Yeah, but I don't play SFW versions of NSFW games because that's not how they were supposed to be made. You can still get banned from playing Nekopara. That's wrong. Because Nekopara has its own category on Twitch. Meaning it's probably like the SFW version. But if Nekopara is on Twitch, has its own category, that means it's safe to stream. Black Souls does not have a category in Twitch. That means it's very unlikely that you can stream it and you're going to get banned if you do. People like Cat Girl, as simple as that. Yeah, but like there's other visual novels with cat girls. Oh wait, I think I know something. I think the main girl was voiced by Ilya. Let me look for it. The main girl was voiced by Ilya. I forgot. Yeah. What is it? I forgot what it was called. Is Atri long? Wait, Ilya. Voice actor. Make your own instrument. I don't know how to use Renpi. My Kadawaki. Very sweet bowl. Oh wow, she worked in a lot. Wait. I'm eating my last tips of Doritos. Give me a bit. Yeah, maybe if somebody writes the fanfic, it can happen. I'm looking for that visual novel I wanted to play. Oshizora no Memoria? Was it this one? It doesn't seem like it. I'm pretty sure it's not Hoshizora no Memoria. But it looks very similar. Wait. Hoshizora. Oh wait, no, it is! I'm stupid! How long is it? What about that one VN I saw advertised a bit with? Yeah, I was the one that was advertising it. Because I finished it and I played it. And it's very unreadable with the SFW patch, and I cannot for sure stream the NSFW version. I was the one advertising that day too. Just followed me because I made a parody of myself there too. Let's see, Hoshizora no Memoria. Which one comes first? Eternal Heart. Oh, okay. Wish Upon a Star is the first one. It is very long. 60. No, I want something that's like I can do in 3 streams. Yeah, the NSFW is required. I mean, with the premise of the game, yeah. Doki Doki Literature Club. Nah. Aren't key stuff also pretty long? Yeah, 6 to 8 VNs. 6 to 8 hour VN. Let me see. Planetarium. Planetarian. Oh, Planetarian! Planetarian's short. Planetarian. Yeah, it's by key. It's by key. You said it's not a visual novel. The Reverie. Okay, we can read Planetarian then. Let me just see which one comes first. Planetarian, HD, or... I feel like I want to read Planetarian. So we might read Planetarian then. Tell of the End, do I have that? It's just ad-free but different. It is wholesome. It might be eroge, but it's wholesome. Okay? It's wholesome sex. Eroge and wholesome can go hand in hand, okay? Always remember that. Okay, I think I'm gonna end the stream now because I have to cook. Alright? So I'll see you guys next time, D2! Bye bye, thank you for watching my first visual novel. Video on D2. I hope you guys had so much fun. So yeah, I'm gonna go now. Bye bye!